Good evening from South Africa. Take two. I'm not frozen this time. It is Monday evening here in South Africa, and I have just finished teaching my yoga class, which was wonderful. I needed all that stretching myself. Having said that, there's a storm brewing outside, and maybe this is a good time to talk about how freeing the fear to free you is a really important tool to have in one's toolbox. That's today's 2 minutes of truth walking. And that may sound very contrasting, freeing the fear. Fear is really a good thing. I always believe fear has one's back. Fear is an indicator like all other emotions. So when you feel that fear, you realize, well, I'm misaligned. I'm not seeing it the way that I would see it deep inside. The higher self part of me, the part of me that is deepest truth, that is source within, that is God within, I am not seeing it that way. And that is why I'm afraid. And that's what fear is saying to one, which is a good thing, because the awareness of that helps one to shift already. Just the knowing is so important. So why free the fear? Well, firstly, I believe that freeing the fear means it's okay to give voice to it. It's okay to admit it. In fact, I gave voice to the fear today. I gave voice to it speaking to my partner. It doesn't mean that you have to voice it to everyone. That's not something that you necessarily want to do. You need to be in a safe space. Sometimes that safe space is just yourself and a journal and writing down what your fear is. What is eating you inside at this moment? A lot of people are from the school of thought that says that don't write your fears down, don't give voice to them because you're just feeding them. I don't believe that, because even if you don't give voice to them, you can still feel that feeling in your stomach, that knot, or the feeling in your throat that's tight, or in your chest where there's a heaviness, and it doesn't take away from that. So let's dissolve all of that at its root. When you write your fear down in your journal, or you give voice to it in a really, really safe space, you free it, because written down or voiced, it isn't so big. It isn't as big as keeping it inside like this big thing that's looming over you that has the ability to control you. When you voice it, you have someone in front of you that's giving you an understanding nod and just allowing that to be. Or you have your journal in front of you and you're reading it and thinking, oh, okay, let me cope with this. What can I do? And there is usually something that makes you feel better, and usually you're starting to align, so you're starting to know what it is that makes you feel better. Maybe you need to do some research on something you're afraid, on that particular thing that you fear, or maybe you just need to take a nap because you know that the fear, it just doesn't make sense and there is nothing to fear. Or maybe it's an anxiety about some activity, maybe speaking in public, or going out onto the sports field and doing something that you don't feel confident about. Whatever it is, just allow yourself to do that little something. And that's why I really do believe that fear has your back. Fear looks after you. And when we free the fear, it frees us. and then we can breathe a sigh of relief, because when you've gone into it like that, you know that the heaviness from your chest lifts, the tightness from your throat is a little less, the knot in your stomach feels a little bit less, so that you can breathe. And when you can breathe, then you start breathing deeply. Your mind, body, spirit starts aligning, and you're able to say, what's that next step? And it makes you feel as if you can do it. So my fear is a little bit less today, and I feel really good about it. It feels empowering, and that's what we want. We want to empower ourselves. We want to give ourselves that 2 minutes of truth walking. And just go into that breathing. As you feel empowered, you can go into that meditation building block and get yourself even more aligned. So here's to freeing the fear to free you. Love and light. Have a beautiful rest of your day and have a great week. See you tomorrow. Bye.